Most people think success is decided in the morning. Who wakes up earlier? Who hits the gym before sunrise? Who reads a book at 5 a.m.? But that's only half the truth. The people who are truly successful, they know. The direction of a day starts the night before. Evening isn't an afterthought. It's the foundation. The morning is just the result. They know if they end the day in chaos, tomorrow morning will just be an extension of yesterday's exhaustion. Look at their nightly habits. None of them go to bed with an open mental tab of unfinished business. They don't bring the last email into bed. They don't let incomplete tasks haunt their sleep. They don't let their brains drift aimlessly on social media until 2 a.m. Instead, they close the day like they started, with intention. Bill Gates spends at least 30 minutes every night reading physical books. Oprah Winfrey journals her gratitude consistently. Tim Ferriss shuts off all electronic devices and meditates in silence before bed. Ariana Huffington, after collapsing from burnout, made enough sleep her life philosophy, establishing a strict no work in bed rule. These people don't do these things because they have free time. They do it because they understand. Energy, focus, decision-making ability, all of it starts with quality sleep. And quality sleep starts with disciplined evenings. If you're still spending your last 30 minutes of the day checking notifications, answering non-urgent emails, arguing online, or binge-watching TikToks until your eyes burn, then don't ask why you're tired tomorrow morning. Don't ask why your brain feels slow, why your mood is low, why your productivity crashes before noon. Here's the thing. No one is coming to fix your sleep for you. No one will show up to pry your phone out of your hands. There's no magic coming from your alarm clock. It's just you and a series of small decisions. Before you turn off the lights, today, I'll share with you 10 nightly habits that most successful people practice every single day. You don't need to be a CEO. You don't need to be a billionaire. You just need to want to wake up without regret, without exhaustion, without repeating the same loop. Wake up, feel tired, get stressed, sleep late, repeat. We'll talk about how they disconnect from work, how they care for their bodies, how they silence the noise, and most importantly, how they prepare their minds. So when their heads hit the pillow, they sleep like someone who completed the day fully. This isn't a list of feel-good tips. This is discipline choice, the boundary. Repeat it night after night, without exception. And from that, their tomorrow begins differently. If you're ready, let's walk through each habit, and you can choose the one you'll start tonight. Number 1, plan for tomorrow. Successful people don't let tomorrow decide their direction. They don't wake up and ask themselves, what should I do today? They know waking up without a clear target is just another way to drift through life. That's why they always take a few minutes at night to plan for the next day. Not a 20-item checklist, not a 2-page to-do list, just 3 key things, 3 actions, 3 priorities, 3 goals. What's the most important task? What, if completed, would make tomorrow feel worthwhile? What small thing will bring long-term progress? They write it down, on paper or on their phone. Doesn't matter where. What matters is getting it out of their head and into something visible, because they know, without a list, tomorrow morning their brain will look for the easiest task, the most comfortable option, the familiar, the low effort, the thing that feels busy, but changes nothing. With a list, they start the day. With direction, no wasting 30 minutes scrolling for motivation, no wandering, no starting with the meaningless stuff. And more than that, writing goals down helps them sleep better. When the mind knows tomorrow's tasks have been captured, have a plan, it stops worrying. It stops replaying the same thought. Don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. The result, deeper sleep, clearer mornings and days. With focus, if you've never done this, try it tonight. It takes 3 minutes. Just pick 3 things. No need for perfect goals. Just clear ones. Because a day can drift away meaninglessly or become a step forward. It all starts with whether you plan it or not. Number 2, reflecting on today. Successful people don't let a day end without looking back. They know if they don't ask themselves, how did I live today? Mistakes will repeat. Bad habits will quietly take root. Unconscious reactions will become default behaviors. So, before going to sleep, they take a few minutes just to face themselves. No long journal entries, no detailed reports. Just 3 simple questions answered honestly. First, what did I do well today? It doesn't have to be something big. Maybe it's a small moment where you stayed calm when provoked, finished a task you didn't like, said something kind when you didn't have to. Acknowledge it, because if you don't, your brain will only remember what you didn't do. Second, where did I fall short? Not to punish yourself, not to feel guilty, just to see the mistake clearly. A time you lost your temper unnecessarily. A task you postponed for no good reason. A careless comment you shouldn't have said. Write it down so it doesn't get buried. So tomorrow you don't repeat it. Third, what will I do differently tomorrow? No need for grand promises, just one small action that makes tomorrow a little better than today. That's how they grow, not because of sudden bursts of motivation, not because of luck, but because day after day they reflect. This nightly review, it's a form of inner discipline, a mental workout to keep themselves on course, not drifting, not lying to themselves, not blaming the world. Everyone is tired after a long day, but a few honest minutes with yourself, that's the difference between someone letting life control them and someone steering their own course. If you've never done this, try it tonight. 3 questions, 3 answers, honest, short, enough, because no one grows without facing themselves. Number 3, disconnecting from work. Successful people understand work is important, but it's not everything. They know if they bring work into bed, they'll wake up tomorrow with a mind already drained. They've learned one last email at 10 p.m. can ruin an entire night's sleep. A late-night meeting can push their emotions into stress mode. A single work message can trigger the brain's fight mode right when the body needs to rest. So they set a boundary, clear, non-negotiable. At a certain time each evening, they shut the laptop, close the email app, mute Slack, Teams, or any other work tool. They remind themselves work can wait until morning. And if there's unfinished business, they write it down. Add it to tomorrow's task list, so their mind doesn't have to hold it, doesn't have to replay it, doesn't have to fear forgetting it. They know working late into the night doesn't make them more productive. It only makes them more tired, less focused, and gradually worse at making decisions. Disconnecting from work isn't laziness. It's not a lack of responsibility. It's how they protect their energy, stay sharp, and remain ready to fight again tomorrow. If you're still holding your phone, checking that one last email right before sleep, try something different. Pick a cutoff time, maybe 9 p.m. After that, no more work, no more replying to clients, no more editing reports. Let your mind know it's time to rest. When you dare to set boundaries, you'll realize the work will still be there tomorrow morning, but you will start the day as a clearer, sharper, and stronger version of yourself. Number 4, not taking your phone to bed. Successful people don't sleep with their phones. They understand the bed is for sleeping, not for endless scrolling, not for reading more news, not for reacting to the outside world. They know bringing the phone to bed is a trap. It starts with just checking one message, just watching one video, just a quick scroll through social media. But then 30 minutes pass, an hour slips away, and finally they turn off the lights. With an overstimulated brain, tired eyes, and restless thoughts, they know blue light from screens is the enemy of melatonin, the hormone that helps with deep sleep. They know negative content, arguments, and late-night news are the last things their mind needs before sleep. So they put the phone somewhere else, on the desk, on a shelf in the living room. And if they must keep it nearby, they switch it to airplane mode, mute all notifications, no exceptions, no, just this once. They choose to go to bed in real silence, in real darkness. No flashing screens, no buzzing notifications from social media. They understand the quality of tomorrow morning begins with the decision to put the phone down tonight. If you're holding your phone in bed right now, if you're scrolling TikTok, watching reels, or replying to messages right before closing your eyes, stop. Put the phone away. Let tonight be a night for your body and mind to rest. You don't need one more piece of news. You don't need to reply to anyone tonight. You just need one decision. Don't take your phone to bed, because you deserve a real, restful sleep. Number 5, reading before sleep. Successful people have a simple but lasting habit. They read before they sleep. They understand what enters the mind right before closing their eyes will stay, will sink deep, and quietly shape their mood the next morning. For them, reading isn't an obligation. It's not about hitting a page target. It's simply a quiet space between a long day of motion. They choose a book, light enough, but meaningful enough. Maybe a few pages of philosophy, a paragraph that makes them pause, reflect, or simply a few lines, enough to slow the mind down. They read without rushing, without pressure to fully grasp everything, just to let the mind absorb and breathe. And in those pages, they find their slower rhythm. They reconnect with themselves, step away from work mode, and end the day in a state of calm and sufficiency. If you've never tried it, start tonight. Just 5 minutes, just a few pages. No need for a big book. Just a small habit, repeated every night, because in the end, your mind deserves to be nourished before it rests. Number 6. Writing down 3 tasks for tomorrow. Successful people don't wait until morning to decide what they'll do. They know morning is not the time for random thinking. Morning is for action, for starting, not for guessing, not for figuring out what's important. That's why, before going to bed, they spend just a few minutes to write down 3 tasks for tomorrow. Not 10 things, not a never-ending list, just 3. 3 things that matter most. 3 actions that, if completed, will make tomorrow feel like a day worth living. They ask themselves, what task, if left undone, would I regret? Which action actually moves me closer to my bigger goals? And they write it down, clearly, specifically, no vague ideas. For example, send the proposal to client X, finish the outline for project Y, do a 30-minute workout. They don't wait for the morning to remember. They don't force their brain to hold that information overnight. They understand clearing the mind is one of the best ways to sleep well. And when they wake up, they just look at the list. No hesitation, no overthinking, just execution. If you've ever felt waking up with an empty mind, not knowing where to start, getting dragged by urgent emails, by notifications, by things other people think are important, this ... is how you take back control. Tonight, before you sleep, grab a pen, write down 3 tasks. Just 3. Simple but powerful. Because a day that starts with intention is a day that's far more likely to end with completion. And it all begins with a few minutes right before you turn off the lights. Number 7. Reviewing your behavior today. Successful people don't just evaluate results. They evaluate how they behaved. They don't just ask, what did I accomplish today? They also ask, how did I conduct myself today? They understand sustainable success doesn't just come from tasks completed. It comes from how they handled those tasks. With what attitude? With what mindset? Before going to sleep, they take a few minutes to review key moments of the day. They ask themselves, did I treat others with respect? Did I lose my temper unnecessarily? Did I react impulsively? or stay calm? Did I truly listen, or just wait for my turn to speak? Did I act according to my values, or just follow my emotions? They look at the truth without excuses, without blaming circumstances, just observation. They know everyone makes mistakes, but the mature are those who notice, adjust, and do better tomorrow. This isn't a ritual for self-blame. It's not about ending the day in guilt. It's a practice for awareness, a reminder that every day is a new chance to be a better person. If they lost their temper today, they admit it, learn from it, and aim to control it better tomorrow. If they stayed silent when they should have spoken up, they recognize it, and tomorrow they speak. If they let emotions control their actions, they accept it, but they won't let it happen again. Successful people aren't perfect, but they're skilled at observing themselves, skilled at not letting mistakes roll over into the next day. So tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself, today, did I behave like the person I want to become? Just be honest. Just look clearly, because real progress starts there. Number 8. Writing one positive thought before sleep. Successful people don't let their day end in negativity. They know, no matter how bad the day was, no matter how heavy the workload, no matter how many things went wrong, there's always at least one thing worth being grateful for or smiling about. Before turning off the lights, they pause for a few minutes to write down one positive thought, just one. It doesn't have to be something big. It could be a good conversation with a colleague, a peaceful moment on the way home, a small task they finished, a simple feeling that they're still on the right path. They understand the brain naturally holds on to negative moments, but writing down something positive helps reset the mind back to balance. They don't lie to themselves. They don't pretend everything's perfect. They simply choose to end the day with one small recognition that, despite everything, life still holds something good. By writing it down, that thought becomes more real, more specific, easier to remember, and as they close their eyes, they let their mind drift into sleep with that one positive image. If you often go to bed feeling like a failure, feeling stressed, or weighed down, try changing that tonight. Before turning off the lights, grab a pen, write down one positive thing. Anything. It doesn't have to sound beautiful. It just has to be true, because the quality of your sleep often starts with the quality of your last thoughts of the day. Number 9. Forgiving yourself and others. Successful people don't carry anger into their sleep. They know holding on to resentment only drains them more. It doesn't fix the issue. It doesn't change anyone. It just ruins their rest. Before bed, they ask, what am I holding on to that I don't need to? Maybe a careless comment, an upsetting email, an unresolved argument, or their own mistake, they take a deep breath and choose to let it go, not because others deserve forgiveness, but because they deserve peace. They understand forgiveness is a gift they give themselves for their mistakes. They don't forget, but they don't self-punish endlessly. They acknowledge, learn, and say, "Tomorrow I'll do better." For others, they stop replaying the story, stop feeding the anger. They know carrying it overnight only weighs down the mind. So if you're lying in bed now, still angry, still blaming, still stuck, pause, breathe, and say, "It's done. Tomorrow is a new page." No one's perfect. We all fall short. Maturity is knowing when to forgive and move on. Tonight, let your sleep start in peace. Number 10. Going to bed on time. No negotiation. Successful people don't negotiate with their bedtime. They don't lie there, telling themselves, "Just 5 more minutes. Let me finish this one last video. I'll just reply to this message first." They know bedtime is discipline, not a feeling. They understand if they sleep late tonight, tomorrow they'll pay the price. Foggy thinking, a sluggish body, reduced focus, poor decision-making. They don't wait until they're completely exhausted, until their eyes can't stay open. Before going to bed, they act. Before that, they check the clock, and when it's time, they get up, turn off the lights, and go to bed. No bargaining, no delay, because they know every time they postpone sleep, they're breaking a promise to themselves. And if you can't keep small promises to yourself, it's hard to stay disciplined in anything else. If you often say, "It's just a little later, I'll catch up on sleep tomorrow," remember, sleep doesn't work on credit. Productivity doesn't come from borrowing energy. Discipline starts with something as simple as bedtime. Tonight, when the time comes, don't negotiate. Turn off the lights. Let your body rest on time, because tomorrow will need a version of you that's clear, strong, and ready. You've just gone through 10 night habits, not for entertainment, not to nod your head and forget them tomorrow. These are principles that successful people apply, repeat every single day, not because they're superhuman, not because they have more hours than you, but because they understand whoever controls their night controls their tomorrow. They end their day with intention. They know when to stop, when to let go, when to sleep, and most importantly, they know not to negotiate with themselves. If you choose just one habit, just one start tonight, you don't need to do everything at once. You just need to start, because in the end, tomorrow's results, your energy, your focus, your emotions, all of it starts with the small decisions you make right before you turn off the lights. Wishing you a quiet night, a deep sleep, and a tomorrow that's exactly what you want it to be.